Okay, everyone, I know you've been waiting on me to do Astral Radiance, and I have not been doing a very good job of getting back onto it, but it's been about a week since Astral Radiance out, and a lot of tournaments have happened already online, and the meta is kind of evolving. We've got a bunch of new cards like Samurott, Darkrai, Palkia coming into the format, shaking the game up into a different way, and today I want to talk about the Full Grip Games top 16 decks that happened at their 5K, 6K, I don't really know how many Ks, but they did a great job, and I think it was a lot of fun. I just recently watched the footage myself, and it was a ton of fun to watch. So if you guys are interested, check that out. Andrew Mahone and Full Grip Games putting on an amazing show. So today we're going to look at the top 16 lists because it was really the first tournament in our format before we actually have to go play a real event. So let's jump right into it. At 16th, we have Jeff Garrison playing Turbo Darkrai. Now this is a deck that I think a lot of people expected to be pretty good because Dark types does, in theory, beat Mew. You have the Baby Moltres package to kind of accelerate the energies onto the board. You have Galarian Moltres V for the Dire Flame Wings once a turn. And then you have Dark Pulse doing 30 plus 30 for each Dark on your board. With 4 Dark Patches, Darkrai's ability, Trekking Shoes, you should be able to move your way through the deck very quickly. Radiant Greninja also helping you draw a ton of cards. Yeah, but I mean, at first glance, the deck looks pretty normal. It makes sense. I think a lot of the cards in here make sense. I do think that we could go for a more aggressive route because this feels like a little bit of like a dark toolbox deck still at the end of the day. And I think you want to either commit all into a turbo strategy or Darkrai becomes second fiddle type of deal. But maybe this is fine. I haven't played any games with Darkrai yet personally, but this looks like a super okay list. In 15th, we had Connor C playing Bird Box. The new, I guess, iteration of Bird Box with one rock stand really added to the list. Nothing new kind of splashed in. Not even a dark patch, actually. I'm surprised because maybe like I was thinking in a build like this, you could play one dark patch to get it off of the Inteleon and set up a Sableye all in one turn. But I guess you have 2 Raihan to kind of serve that same purpose. So maybe it's better than just having a dark patch plus boss to kind of make a play. But overall, the list looks very straightforward. The idea is we're going to be quick shooting, setting up numbers, using Moltres' Fiery Wrath and Hoopa early game. A very bare bones list that usually like we've seen at the beginning of formats. Then we have Daniel Polo's. Oh, this is cool. RCS Beedrill with a Hoopa in the Zapdos, kind of like Peter Kika's deck that he used to get second place at the Secaucus Regional Championships, and throwing in a Raikou V with the Raihan so we can have an answer into Palkia. Now, Palkia is going to have a naturally full bench anyway when they are kind of playing their game, so you get to have Raikou to kind of answer as a one-shot animal, and then if you can Ordinary Rod it back in, and Raihan the like lightning back onto that or something like that, chain that kind of thing. You have 2 knockouts on back-to-back Palkias. You probably can take out one Palkia with just Arceus itself. And I guess the third Palkia becomes kind of an issue, but you can go boss for game, but I don't really know. Seems like a cool strategy. I like the concept behind it. Yeah, can't complain. 13th, we have Dominick Landis playing Palkia. Off the rip, the list looks pretty standard. 3 Irida is a lot of Irida. I don't know if that's necessarily needed. Maybe playing heavier research is better. But also, I admit I have not put a ton of time into Palkia either. But this will be a deck that I put a ton of time into coming forward. 3 buckets, 7 water is very aggressive. I like that a lot. 2 choice, 1 big charm, super fun. 1 battle VIP pass is a little bit sus. Like, what are we trying to accomplish here with this 1 battle VIP pass? Like, if we open it in our opening hand, cool. If not, it's a dead card. I guess with just 1, it's not that big of a risk, but maybe another supporter? I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I don't know if I like that completely. 1-1-1 on the stadium count. I guess I don't know which stadiums are correct in this deck just yet. I feel like Path is definitely really strong. But besides that, I don't know what else could be really good in Palkia. So it's our first look at Palkia. And then at 12th, we have Anderson Walsh playing RCS V-Star with the Surfing Pikachu. Now, this is a cool deck. I like this a lot, actually, because you basically just take the RCS Inteleon engine we've been using and add in this Surfing Pikachu, which all this big chonky guy does is one-shot Palkias for you. Yes, the Surfing Pikachu only has 200, so it's very, very easy for Palkia to bring up and kill, which is really annoying. But you have the same consistent ball engine we've been playing all format. Just adding in this 1-1 line of this guy, and you get Roxanne as added disruption towards the end game. So I don't think there's a reason that RCS should be bad. I think there's just now more decks that will outrace it, which makes it a little bit worse to consider as a top deck. Chris Harris here playing Mew with 5 stadiums. Oh my god. Chris playing 4 Tower Darkness and a Trading Court. Rest of the list looks very straightforward. No new cards, no Silene, no I don't know what card I'm trying to think of, but no Silene, none of that stuff added, no hubbub, no nonsense. Mew is Mew, and Mew will always be one of the best decks for its lifetime, almost certainly. Then we have Brian Miller playing another Mew list with 4 stadiums here as well, 4 Rose Tower. This is like a list that is much more... Look at all the 4 ofs in Brian's list here. We've got the 4 Quick, the 4 Ultra, 4 VIP, 4 Cram, 4 Rotom, 4 Tab, 4 Tower. Like, it's just pretty looking. And Mew is a deck that works when we do consistency. Then we have Sanjay playing Eldegoss Loop, Umbreon Stall, with the Miltanks being the Miracle Body like wall that we can use now, along with having the Hisuian Heavy Ball to kind of find some of our prize tech cards that could happen. This is like a play off of Sanders' deck with the Birdkeeper, the Flannery, all this stuff. It's actually a really cool concept, and I think I definitely want to try to put some time into this because Miltank is very strong if a deck's not prepared for it, and Jolteon is pretty good as well. Now with the Hisuian Heavy Ball, maybe you go for like a 1-2 Jolteon line because we can't really fetch the... No, there's a Peonia also. Never mind. So it's fine. There's a Peonia and a Hisuian Heavy Ball, so playing 1 Jolteon seems completely okay. But this is a really cool concept. And I think this definitely could be worked on a little bit more. Now we get to top 8. We have Ian Buck playing Ice Rider Arceus. Ice Rider Palkia. Now this is a concept I think is really, really cool because you can use the Palkia's ability to make sure that Ice Rider gets to use like another supporter plus the attack that turn, because the problem always was that you needed Melanie, and it was really, really telegraphed with Ice Rider. But now you can go Star Portal Boss or Star Portal Cheryl or Cheryl Star Portal. You know what I mean. And Starmie also is there in the deck to kind of give it an answer. This list looks really consistent, straightforward. I like a lot of the counts. If there's anything I would add or change, 3 bucket is still a lot. Maybe you don't need that many bucket. Yeah, I'm looking. I would play a Radiant Hawlucha instead of the Greninja, I think, just to hit numbers on VMAXs, because without it, we're not one-shotting a Mew, and I think that's the biggest problem. So I think we need to play the Hawlucha over the Greninja, even though the draw is really good, but we do have like a ton of draw supporters already in the deck. But otherwise, I think this concept's really cool. Then we have Jesse Parker coming in at 7th with the Palkia V-Star deck. Another very consistent list with 1 stadium apiece. The 2 ofs across the board besides the Roxanne, very consistent looking. The Starmie as well making an appearance here. I think it's a very cool card. I think Starmie punishes a lot of bad play. So something that I really enjoy in decks like this. Very consistent deck from Jesse. Doesn't look like there's anything special about it, but Jesse coming in with the 7th place finish. At 6th, we have Joshua Fine playing the Blissey V Miltank deck. With 4 Hyper Potion, a bunch of energies. Basically, we just wall with the Miltank, and then we use the Blissey to accelerate the energies back to deal with things like the Inteleon that people will attack with and other stuff. With switch cards to heal and Hyper Potions to make sure like our big tanky guys don't actually go down. So Zinnia's Resolve, a really cool supporter for getting cards into the discard, and Greninja lets you discard the energies as well to draw cards. So a very cool concept. I don't know why 4 Crushing Cameras in here. Maybe just to slow our opponents down. Maybe we actually need it. And 4K Toughness seems definitely excessive, but maybe we could just play better like search card. Maybe like another Quick Ball or something, just because, or the Hisuian Heavy Ball, because with the few number of basics we have, if one is prized, it becomes like a free look for us. In 5th, we have Zach Laska playing Mew. 3-3 Mew here. That's definitely interesting. There's the new Silene card. Flip 2 coins. Put a number of cards on top of your deck for the number of heads you get. 4 Trekking Shoes. That's a really cool new addition. I think Trekking Shoes gives the deck a lot of power. It's very interesting to see that nobody's playing Trekking Shoes in tandem with Phone. I don't know if that has to be the cut for that. Maybe the 2 of them combined could be really good. But a really interesting Mew list to see here. In 4th, we have the deck that everyone's been talking about, Nolan Freda's Regigigas deck. This deck just sets up and kind of overwhelms the board with any attacker you want it to be. You can accelerate those energies out of your discard super easily. 3 Ordinary Rod, getting all your guys back. Just an insane deck. A lot of fun to play. I've played a lot of games with this so far. It has glaring issues against Avery, Temple of Sinnoh, Collapse, like those kinds of things definitely give it a problem. So Yes, but it is a really fun deck, and I will say that Nolan was ahead of his time for this. And third, we have Mike Gibbs playing Palkia here as well, with a Bibero line to deal with any Jolteon decks. I would assume, with 2 Irida as well here, 3 boss, heavy boss, very heavy boss, 2 Battle VIP Pass, so another deck where we're not playing the full 4 Battle VIP Pass, but we're saying, hey, we have 2, and hopefully this does something for us. Fine list. I think I like it again. Palkia is Palkia, very strong. And second, we have Josh Frink playing the Ice Rider Palkia deck. Here's the Howlucha that I was talking about. I think that makes a huge difference in how the damage output goes. 3 Melanie, 1 Raihan. I don't know if that's necessarily needed, but I do like the 2 Shady Dealings a lot. I think 2 Shady Dealings is really good, just to make sure we actually get to play the game. 3 Net, 3... Yeah, no, everything here makes sense to me. I don't know if the Leon is necessarily needed, because we're already hitting 310 with this. So maybe Leon should be Cheryl to give ourselves a Star Portal Cheryl play, rather than pure offense here. But I do like the idea of the deck. Like, the idea of the deck is very cool, and a 1/1 line seems like it's perfectly okay to make work. And the winner, last but not least, was Grant Manley, or Trickrow. You can follow him on his socials. Grant played a Mew deck with 3/3 Mew, with a Marnie still, and actually 0 new cards in his deck. Grant proving that a deck that is still like old can be good. Something that people forget going into every new format is that something was good for a reason. It doesn't just automatically stop being good. So this is the deck that Grant used to win the tournament. And congratulations to everyone over at Full Grip Games. I'm excited to see how the meta develops leading into Milwaukee. We will be doing some quick meta profiles, deck profiles. Like, I'll go into depth in some of more of these decks as we move forward. Let me know in the comments down below which decks you guys want to see me break down as we head forward. I'm starting my prep today, so I'm going to be going ahead and trading on PTCGO for all the stuff I need personally. And so thank you guys for bearing with me while I was going to Vancouver and heading back. But now we're here. Let's hit the ground running for Astral.